ribeye steak is one of the nicest steaks. So let's start with a nice fresh piece of ribeye, and we're going to cook it in the Instant Pot. We're also going to have some herbs and spices, and we're also going to make a sauce at the end of it. Start by turning the Instant Pot onto saute hot and put in some oil. Mix the oil around to make sure you get it spread evenly over the bottom of the pot, and season your steak. Now take the steak and put it in. Put it in one position and don't move it for approximately 2 minutes if you want rare, or 3 minutes if you want medium rare. After 2 minutes, in this case for us, we take the steak and we turn it over and repeat the same process. Put it in a single position and leave it there for a further 2 minutes. After about 1 minute on your second side, take half of your butter and put it in and spread it around. We're doing this because the butter brings a nice extra sort of nutty, buttery flavor to the steak, and we want to get that through the steak now, and also have it as the base for the sauce to help extract some of those nice steak juices. So we're also going to put in some herbs and some garlic there going in, and we're also putting in a little bit of rosemary. Again, it starts to build the base for the sauce, but also adds flavor to the steak. And we're taking a small ladle and taking a little bit of the really hot butter and just pouring it over and basting that top part of the steak while it's cooking. Okay, so we've had 2 minutes on that second side, and we're going to act as if we're just going to cook the steak in the Instant Pot. So what we're going to do is just brown off the edges on the top and the bottom of the steak. And essentially, after that, your steak is done. You take it out, let it rest. You must let it rest for at least 5 minutes, and you'd be ready to eat. However, we're going to carry on, and we're going to make a really nice pepper sauce. Now we're going to carry on and use the Instant Pot to make the steak really, really tender, as well as making the sauce. So we're putting in now some shallots or onions, and you can see we've got a nice bit of burnt base on the bottom from the steak, and that's great. Putting in a little bit of speck or crispy bacon here for added flavor, and putting in some additional herbs. And we're starting to build the base of that sauce, stirring well. Now we're putting in the red wine, and what that's going to do is deglaze. Now watch as we stir, you'll see that the bottom of the Instant Pot starts to become clean. So all of those brown bits on there have now been released into the sauce, and they are just fantastic flavor. Next, we want to let the red wine reduce by about 50%, and that's going to take about 2 minutes before we move to the next step. Juiced, add some pepper, because we don't want that too early so that it burns. Pepper burns easily. And then before we cook the steak for the second time, we're actually going to add the beef stock here. We didn't show it. Okay, so we've added the beef stock, and we've now cooked the ribeye steak in that beautiful sauce and beef stock. Now we've taken out the steak, and we're going to let the sauce reduce, probably for about another 3 minutes, hence all the steam on the camera as it starts to boil. Once it's reduced by about 50%, we're adding the cream, and this just gives a really nice deep flavor. A little bit of sugar, we're adding some salt, and we're going to stir and just continue to reduce for a little bit further. And then you want to start tasting, after of course you've added the butter. Again, don't add too much salt because the butter is naturally salty. Now, after you've tasted the sauce, it's all good to go, and you begin to plate up. And here we have a beautiful pepper sauce, some mashed potatoes, and some fresh green beans with some roasted almonds. Cooking the steak a second time in the Instant Pot after browning it really makes it almost pull apart tender. The flavor's there, the sauce is amazing, and it's worth doing it this way. It's just the best way to cook steak. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.